45C. Now 45C. 45C. I generally make sure that I've got everything where I want it.
And how long does it take it in person from the website? Isn't it?
Hours in the house.
The same as making anything. If you see something in parts, if you see a watch in part, you wouldn't necessarily know how it goes together. Just the cutting.
Oh, this is for the
That's for shoulders. Oh. And a flat piece of cloth to the basic shell, and that is a basic shell of the jacket.
So you were telling us about those
Yeah,
margins.
these here. This is Goldsmith Road here. This is the corner where we are at the moment, looking across. That's the farm now.
We're an Anglican community. John Mason Neale was a priest in East Grinstead who started us because of rural poverty. We came up into East London in 1866, and then in 1868 we moved here to our present site. We were used as air raid shelters during both wars, and our work changed after the Second World War because a lot of the work we were doing was then taken over by the state and done much better, because the weakness of our work, I think, had been that it was very much ambulance work We weren't tackling the real causes of the poverty. For the marginalised is what we say, that our work is always for those on the edge of society, whether that's because of their ethnic origin or their sexual orientation. I would say that the greatest thing we contribute to the local community is stability and continuity. We stay here. If we come here as novices, we don't ever move to another house. So if you knew Sister X 30 years ago and you turn up on our doorstep, she will still be here. It has made us think when we look round and see how the housing is changing round here. We really do not want to be living in the middle of a lot of wealthy housing, and it's made us look at whether this is the right place for us to be.
Wherein that, I think that the term is gentrification, wherein that the old Hackney or the people who have lived here for their lifetime find themselves being bombarded by the up-and-coming people who can afford the vast sum for mortgages, and they have moved out into other areas, whilst these new upstarts have come in and occupy large expanse of LBH. Can you excuse me a minute? Hello, Michael Dixon. Hi. Give me half an hour. All right. Right. Really? All right. Listen, what time are you leaving the office, sir? I'll phone you back in half an hour. All right? I'll phone you back in half an hour. All right. Bye-bye. Sorry about that, sir. Let me do it. Switch it off.
Side, you got a form. What you've got on either side, you got a formal sort of planting area, and you got the informal, more wildlife area. Part of our problem is that we've got adults who actually come in and nick the plants. You can see the gap in the bed, and all those are, or what I say for example here, that's where someone came and dug a plant. You can see the indentation in the ground, and these aren't kids, these are grown adults. One of my biggest problem currently is with, a number of my users is with dogs. Dogs are actually running rife in the park in terms of dog poo. You've got a number of users who are very responsible, and one can only but commend them in terms of they pick up after the dogs. But you've got a number of others who basically won't comply, right? Initially, I must say, I wasn't particularly keen about the park myself, but I think it's got potential. I think it's quite lovely.
There's an intimacy there, and I suppose there is limited space. It's not massive, you know, but you could happily accommodate 12 people if you had to, as activity centres for all types of people, kids, people who, you know, from professions, people who, old people, you know, there's a lot of OAPs doing our pottery course, you know, so it's all a mix, so you get to meet people that, you know, you wouldn't necessarily meet, you know, and it's nice, you know, especially if you're a bit of an oddball.
Patience, forbearance, children. I've learned so much from this now.
Yes. That is a farm now. These houses here, see one, two, those are actually little shops. This is the entrance here into the farm.